Organic social is one of, if not the most powerful thumb on the scale that anybody running ads needs to be paying attention to. And if you're not analyzing it, you're missing huge opportunities for massive profit. I haven't worked with a single business that I've taken from a couple hundred or a couple thousand a day to $1 million a month or better without heavily treasuring this customer feedback and letting it guide the ship. So what are the 4 most important things that we need to know about how to weaponize organic social to the massive growth potential that we deserve with our paid ads? Number 1 thing we need to pay attention to is reading the comments and analyzing the sentiment. You need to understand what words people use. You need to understand what content people respond to. You need to understand how people feel about the words and the messaging and the positioning that you use in order to earn their attention. The average person swipes the height of the Eiffel Tower on a daily basis. What organically got them to stop? Not only stop, but engage. What got somebody to stop their scroll, watch and read what you have to say, and then take the time and effort to give feedback? That's tremendous. If you're not leveraging that for your paid media, you're wasting so much opportunity. My second favorite way of weaponizing organic social is running my best content as ads. If you know a video crushes, or every time you use these words in an email, for instance, the open rate is phenomenal, and you started to leverage that maybe in your copy on your posts, imagine what happens when you start running it as ads. What happens when you start to realize every time I run a piece of content that looks or feels like this, it does well. And every time I do it like this, it does poorly. You can start to break down all the things that succeed organically, and then you start to take that message and pay to reach even more people with it, your estimated action rate is gonna be phenomenal. Remember, the estimated action rate is how Facebook decides what to charge you for the cost of inventory that ultimately determines your bid and your CPA and your profitability and ultimately whether or not you can scale Facebook. Organic social is a tremendous way of validating these elements. Use your best posts as inspiration for or directly as the ads that you go to market with. If you can figure out 4 or 5 different things of a certain concept that work organically, throw them into a dynamic creative, the ad that comes out of there is probably gonna be one that crushes and might mean the difference between 10xing your business and going out of business. Another really great way to weaponize organic social media is to remember that we don't exist in isolation. What are our competitors doing? What content works? What formats work? What messaging works? If 3 of my competitors keep doing something and it continues to work and I'm not doing it, it's my fault that I'm not winning. You should be appropriating content formats. You should be understanding what people are responding to. If you want to compete with your competitors, you need to understand what they're doing. Look to people that are bigger than you, that can lose more money than you can, that can have more waste than you. What do they do that's great? And just start copying it. You're only as good as who you steal from and then innovate on top of that. But if you start wasting money to reinvent the wheel every single time, you are going to go broke. And we see this happen all the time. Whenever something works, everybody else jumps on the bandwagon. And you might say, well, I don't want to be in bandwagon, or I want to be unique, we're special, and all that stuff. Great, do that. Hopefully you're still in business in a year. Why not copy what people are doing and add it to what makes you unique? Appropriate it. Don't just directly steal it. Make it your own, but understand other people can lose money at a rate that you can't afford to. And if they figured out something that works, learn from that. If you refuse to take the learnings of people with more money, more successful than you, then you are never going to be as successful or make any more money than they ever will. The last thing that's really important here is when you're using organic social, you get to understand the words and the sentiment that your customers have. Use those to help your targeting. If you can meet them where they are and give them what they want, they will give you their money. It is literally that simple. If you're having trouble scaling your business, one of my first questions to you would always be, are you talking to your customers in the way they want to be talked to? If you're trying to get the attention of somebody in a room and you refuse to address them by their name or talk about what they want to talk about, do you think you're going to make any friends? No. Remember, ads make their own audiences. If you want your audiences to be people who look like your existing customers that show an interest in what you have to sell, start using the words that your customers use. Start leveraging the content that they respond to, whether it's with your brand or your competitors. Make ads out of that. Make organic content out of that. And the organic content that works really well is also going to crush as an ad. Remember, ads Ads and organic social are the same thing. The only difference is that you are paying for an ad to be shown to somebody. If it works organically and can earn reach and engagements and attention, then it's gonna be a lot easier for you to buy attention with that ad. And I'll leave you with this. You are never buying results with any paid media anywhere ever. You are buying attention. The success of that attention has everything to do with your business model and how you engage with your customer. If you're not leveraging organic social to understand what your customers want from you, your business model and your communication will be crippled. So my homework for you, my challenge to you right now is to start going in and just tracking the comments. Make word clouds of all the stuff that you see. Track what content works for you and your competitors. Follow your competitors. Begin to track what works and what doesn't. One of my favorite things to do is I'll just make a Google Drive or some Slack group and I'll just share all the content from my competitors that I love. That is great inspiration. That's way better than an ads library. And then start to use that to control what you do organically on your social media. And when you start to crack that nut and then run those as ads, you're gonna crush. What does everybody say? A good TikTok is a great Facebook ad. Why? Because TikTok is the most aggressive meritocracy attention device. So what we have to do here is begin to take action on the information that we have. Track this stuff. Understand the words that people use and the content that stops them and gets them to engage with you. That information will allow you to make ads that will run forever. I have ads that I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions on that have run for months or years. And it's not because I'm lucky. It's because I use organic social to power my paid media strategy. Hey, by the way, if you like this video and if you've been watching this far into it, I'm sure you do, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. It means the world to me. And also, if you like this video, you have any questions or any other topics you'd like me to cover, drop in the comment section below. I will get back to you, I promise. It'll be me. And I'll respond back to anything that you have to say.